New Zealand's environmental credentials could be in for another battering at this week's United Nations Climate Summit. Unlike Australia, New Zealand's controversially decided not to sign up to an extension of the UN treaty binding countries to cuts in greenhouse gas emissions. Political editor Corin Dan takes a look at what's in store at Doha.
A passion for curbing global warming on full display at this electric vehicle summit at the weekend. But can the same be said about nations gathering in Doha?
How many wake-up calls do we need? Governments really need to look at this science and think we need to act and we need to start doing it soon.
There are two key goals at this meeting: firming up the rules for a new climate change pact planned for 2020 and extending the Kyoto Protocol, the agreement that binds developed countries like New Zealand to cut emissions.
The critical period is between now, 2012, and 2020. That's the transition period. And that's why you need legal obligations under Kyoto too.
The European Union and Australia are keen, but Canada and now New Zealand won't sign up again.
I don't think binding ourselves into a straitjacket that fundamentally only Australia and the European Union would make sense.
New Zealand's environmental credentials have been questioned in international media of late, and the decision to opt out of binding emissions cuts at Doha could draw more flack.
New Zealand, Russia, these countries haven't yet committed to sign up to continuing with Kyoto. It's critical they do, and over the next 2 weeks they're going to hear a lot from poor countries that are desperate for climate action.
But with many big emitters having snubbed Kyoto years ago, our government seems unconcerned. Its focus now coming up with a voluntary emissions target in the interim.
New Zealand's got a legislative target of reducing emissions 50% by 2050. That's actually pretty respectable, but we haven't heard much lately from the government as to the extent of the commitment to get there or how New Zealand is getting there.
New Zealand's emissions target for the next 7 years will be announced early next year. Corin Dan, One News.